The journey from product development to mass production is not as simple as finalizing a design and placing an order. Throughout product development, there are specific validation steps you need to take to prove your idea works as intended. These validation steps are known as engineering validation test, EVT, design validation test, DVT, and production validation test, PVT. If you need a refresher on what these stages mean, then I'll link to this video above. But in this video, we're going deeper by taking you through what you must accomplish at each test to move to the next step. So let's dive in. The first validation step is EVT. At this stage, you should not be worried about the final look of the product. Instead, just answer one question. Does the core technology actually work? To answer that, you need to build functional prototypes using prototyping methods such as 3D printing or CNC machining. You are not ready for mass production, so there's no reason to open up mass production tools. But these prototypes allow you to validate key milestones on the electrical and mechanical side. During EVT, you should run functionality tests with the goal to identify and fix all major engineering flaws before moving to DVT. So, how do you know when you're ready to move to DVT? First, the core functionality must work reliably during typical use of the product. So for example, if your product relies on wireless connectivity, battery efficiency, or specific sensor accuracy, those elements must work reliably. Second, all major engineering flaws should be resolved. If there are still critical unknowns, you're not ready to move on. Lastly, the design should be stable enough to transition into production-grade materials and manufacturing methods. Once these milestones are met, it's time to move to the next stage, DVT. Since the core technology of your product works, the next step is to refine the product so it's not only functional, but also looks and feels like the final version. You will now be working with the same processes and materials that will be used in mass production. During DVT, the focus shifts to these three areas: aesthetics, manufacturability, and compliance. To move to PVT, here are the milestones you need to meet. First, the product must meet all functional, aesthetic, and durability requirements. This is the version of the product that will go out to your customers. Second, the manufacturing processes needs to be repeated at scale. If production runs are not consistent, then you're not ready to move to PVT. Thirdly, all necessary certifications and compliance tests must be passed. If you still have outstanding regulatory approvals, you can't move forward. Once these boxes are checked, it's time for PVT, where you make sure mass production runs smoothly. At this stage, the design is locked, the manufacturing processes are confirmed, and all compliance tests are complete. Now it's time for PVT, the final validation step before mass production. During PVT, the goal is simple. Confirm that mass production can run smoothly and without issues. This means testing the entire manufacturing process from assembly and quality control to packaging and logistics. Unlike earlier builds, PVT units come off the actual production line using mass production methods, not prototype or low volume processes. PVT also includes another important step to mass production, which is the pilot run. This is a limited production run to confirm that everything works as expected before committing to mass production manufacturing. This stage is where you catch any last-minute bottlenecks by making sure the flow of material is smooth and that there's no quality issues that pop up. To move into mass production, you need to confirm these three things. First, the production line must run at full speed with consistent quality and no process failures. Next, the yield rates or outputs must hit the expected targets. If you're not hitting these numbers, then you have to make a few adjustments. Lastly, packaging, shipping, and logistics must be finalized. Everything should be set for delivery to your customers. Once PVT is successfully completed, you're ready for mass production. At this point, the product is now fully validated and ready to scale. Each step plays an important role in ensuring your product is ready for mass production. Taking the time to focus on these stages and meeting the necessary milestones will set your product up for success, minimizing risks and ensuring a smoother path to market. I hope you guys have a better understanding of the key milestones needed for EVT, DVT, and PVT. If you have found this helpful, then please like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you guys have any questions, then just please comment below, and I'll get back to you. Thank you everyone for watching.